It's time for Living with Victory, a program of hope and encouragement brought to you by Friends of Compassion and listeners like you. Now here's your host, President of Compassion for Kids, Tony Giorgio, with today's message of perseverance.
Welcome to Living with Victory. I'm your host, Tony Giorgio, with my co-host, Laureen Giorgio, proving life isn't about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. It's called perseverance and faith in Jesus Christ. And just a reminder, if you want to email us, I'll give you that email right now and then give you some more information later on. Have a pencil and paper ready just before we go off the air. You can email us at livingwithvictory@gmail.com. And like I said, later on, I'll give you the rest of the information. Also, I want to remind you, we are partnering with the Journey Christian newspaper. It's a free monthly print and online publication. So if you're not in the area where they distribute, you can go online and read the news and the Christian perspective and Christian events and encouraging articles. Visit their website at www.journeychristiannews.com. And the Journey Christian newspaper encourages Christians on their walk with Christ. And also, we do have our little ad on their website. If you click on Living with Victory, you can go directly to our website. That's what partnering is all about. And without wasting another minute, I want to say hello to my sweet co-host, Laureen, and she'll have the word of the day, and we'll get into today's program. Hi, Laureen.
Hi. I'm so glad you decided to join us today. I hope everyone is blessed by this. Our program today is called You Have Not Because You Ask Not. This is from Matthew 7 through 11. Keep on asking, Jesus said, and it will be given you. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking reverently, and the door, which is Jesus, will be open to you. For everyone who keeps on asking receives, and he who keeps on seeking finds. And to him who keeps on knocking, the door will be opened. Or what man is there of you, if his son asks him for a loaf of bread, will hand him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will hand him a serpent? If you then, evil as you are, know how to give good and advantageous gifts to your children, how much more will your Father, who is in heaven, perfect as he is, give good and advantageous things to those who keep on asking? Matthew Henry Commentary, Volume 1 says, ask, keep on asking, persevere, don't give up. Seek means plead and wrestle with God, as Jacob wrestled with the angel and would not let him go until he received his blessing. Knock, door of mercy and grace, which again is Jesus, no longer shut. Again, persevere. I believe he wants to know if we are serious about what we are asking for and praying for. How badly do we want this? Are we willing to persevere and keep coming to him throughout the day and asking in faith, knowing the God that we trust will answer?
And we've had enough going on in these last few months to really prove out perseverance, prayer, and pressing in and asking, wouldn't you say?
Most definitely. I don't know if you were with us a few weeks before. Well, actually, I believe it was a week before Easter when we spoke about the cup that Jesus had to drink and how frightened and fearful he was as a man having to go through what he knew he was going to have to go through. I mean, he did sweat drops of blood knowing, and he asked his Father to please let the cup pass from him. But God did not want that to happen because he knew how important it was for his son to die for us. That's how much he loved us. I just felt that I had a cup that I had to drink. And I had explained it that on that show. Well, that cup is breast cancer. The night before I had to go, well, even going through all the procedures, those of you out there who have experienced this and are experiencing it, you know it's not an easy thing to do. You know the fear, you know the uncertainty, but the night before the surgery, I experienced a fear that I think almost came close to what Jesus was feeling in the Garden of Gethsemane. I think God wanted me to understand what it meant for him to drink that cup and to tell you how much he loves us and to even consider drinking that cup and actually doing so, especially when he could have walked away. Who are we that he should have died for us? But he loved us so much to drink that cup. And I had to go for my biopsy on Good Friday. I felt I was sharing the cup he drank. It was very significant for me that it was on Good Friday. But I have to tell you that God's grace is sufficient. When I needed it most, he was right there beside me. Those procedures aren't easy to go through. But I have to tell you, when I was going through them, I felt I was totally wrapped in his arms and at a peace that nobody could understand. But when you are trusting God, and you know the God that you are trusting, you know he will never fail you. He will never fail you when you need him at the darkest hour.
There's no doubt about it. And we have, I guess, pulled out all the stops, because even within me, for a person who has been able to handle things and straighten things out, and I'm the guy that goes in and sets everything straight, and I'm fighting the battles. Here was a battle that I had no control over physically, as a person who can settle things, as a person who makes the outcome good. It didn't happen. It couldn't happen. It was totally out of my hands. What was in my, I guess, my power was to pray and say, okay, Lord, this is in your hands. There's nothing I can do about this. I know she's upset. I know she's a little nervous. It's a scary new world that you're entering. You don't know what's really going to happen. Problem is, you hear from everybody, and it's this, it's that, it's the other thing. Well, can't listen to everybody. You know, you got to go in and do your homework. The only thing I can do for this person that I love dearly more than my own life was I had to get on my knees and say, Lord, I know you can handle it. I can't. There's nothing I can physically do to make this better. I can't. I can't put her at peace. I can't stop her from going through the test she's got to go through. I can't stop the surgeries. I can pray, though. I can pray and believe in what I'm saying. You can't do it on your own. That you have to have the trust and the faith that you say you have in Jesus Christ, because that's where the answer was. And for that moment, that was tough going there for both of us, because we're on the air telling everybody, oh, you know, life's full of storms, and you got to dance in the rain, and you got to persevere. And here, once again, over 45 years, here it goes. It hits again. It hits us personally. And what was I going to do? Fold up and say, oh, this is it. It's over with. No, it's not. It's something that Jesus Christ can handle. Nobody else. And we had a spirit-filled doctor, and we had to rely on the fact that our faith in Christ would bring us through.
I just want to go back again to the fear that I experienced. I really believe God allowed me to feel that fear. I had never felt fear like that before, and I faced so many other things. But yet the funny part of it was I knew God was going to take care of me, but I think he allowed me to feel that fear so I could tell you, if God felt that fear, and he loved us so much to die for us anyway, What better God to trust to take care of you? He loved us to go through that, so that anything that we have to go through, even though we have to do it afraid sometimes, that He is there to hold you up, that He is there to see you through. And I have to say, I was sitting on my couch just before I had to go for the biopsy, about a couple of days before, and I had gotten a splinter in my finger. And I know this sounds crazy, but sometimes those splinters hurt taking them out. I don't even know where it came from, but I took it out and I didn't feel a thing. And I heard God say to me, that's exactly how you're going to go through this. And I said, Lord, I hope you're right. We always say, I'm not sure, but I'm going to trust you. I choose to trust you. And sure enough, every procedure I went through, I really didn't feel anything. I have to really thank Him for that, because when He says, my grace is sufficient for you, He's not lying to you. His grace is sufficient. He is there with you. Don't ask me how or why. And I know there are women and even men out there who are facing surgeries and different treatments because of cancer. Cancer is a scary word. But let me tell you something. If you know your God, you can't lose, because someday we are all going to go home, and then we will see our Redeemer face to face. But I knew He wasn't calling me right now. I still have things to do. But when that time does come, I know who's waiting for me. A God who loved me so much to die on a cross, and who's with me every time I need Him in my darkest hour. And I just want to encourage people who are going through things right now, and they seem like, oh, it's so high and so hard, and how am I ever going to get over this or get through it? Just hold on to Christ's hands.
And now we're coming to the end real quickly here. So, as I told you earlier, I will give you this information. If you have a pen, pencil, paper, if you want to contact us through our email, it's livingwithvictory@gmail.com, or through our website at livingwithvictory.org, livingwithvictory.org. You can also call us at 828-926-4600. You can send us a message or a donation through a PayPal account we have on the website, or just mail it to us at Post Office Box 1982 in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, 28751. Or you can click on the homepage if you want to go to PayPal on our website, or you can also click on YouTube or GodTube to listen to previous programs. So, if you want, you can send your donations, like I say, because you are the only ones who support us. We're listener-based supported, we're grassroots, and boy, can we use it right now. And it's Living with Victory at Post Office Box 1982, Maggie Valley, North Carolina, 28751. And if you feel that we've helped you, send whatever you can afford. No gift is too small, it's tax deductible. And whatever you can afford will be appreciated. And so, till next week, this is Tony
and Laureen
saying you have a blessed week. Keep dancing in the rain, because Jesus is your umbrella. Hey, tell your friends about us. So long.
You've been listening to Living with Victory with your host, motivational and inspirational speaker, Tony Giorgio. Support for Living with Victory comes from Friends of Compassion and listeners like you. Your tax-deductible donations can be sent to Compassion for Kids, P.O. Box 1982, Maggie Valley, North Carolina, 28751. Tony is also available to speak to your group or organization. You can call him at 828-926-4600. Join us again next week at this time for another uplifting story of dancing in the rain.
Jesus is with me when the storm clouds gather. He's standing by my side.